with our research expert, Karen Nohelty. Karen, thanks for joining us.
Research and Development Manager at CARD, and I have a great paper to share with you that reviewed current research on sleep problems for children with autism.
Great, because we were just talking about going back to school and getting kids to bed earlier, which can be a challenge. So tell us a little bit about this study and what it's come up with.
Sure. This study is called Recommendations for Identifying Sleep Problems and Treatment Resources for Children with Autism. And it's by Emily Abell, Soo-Yun Kim, Ashley M. Kellerman, and Matthew T. Broadhead. And they really focused on the fact that, prevalence of sleep problems with children with autism is so much higher. It's 50 to 80% of kids with autism have sleep problems compared with only 25% of their typically developing peers. And it's really important to address these issues. I think it's pretty obvious, but in addition to, not sleeping, the whole family not sleeping, it can exacerbate common core ASD symptoms, as well as decrease attention and increase challenging behaviors throughout the day.
Okay.
So there are a number of specific sleep problems that different children can have. It can range from taking too long to fall asleep at night, to waking up in the middle of the night, maybe multiple times, to waking up too early in the morning. And all these things put together can lead to decreased sleep duration at night. And there are certain recommendations that are made based on children's age as to how much sleep they should be getting. And without children reaching that number, they potentially have different health problems, and it can impact them throughout their day. So the first step that the article mentioned is to rule out any medical causes. That's a really important first step. And then you really want to assess the situation. And the article recommended doing a sleep diary. And that really involves, writing down a lot of information about the child's sleep. So that includes bedtime, the time it took to fall asleep, if the child woke up in the middle of the night and how many times, as well as the time the child woke up in the morning. And all of this information is really important to gather because for parents, this is information that you can provide to a clinician to help identify some strategies. And for clinicians, this is really the first step in helping you figure out appropriate strategies to use. So in terms of the specific strategies, the article first talked about something they call sleep hygiene. And this is a term for a collection of strategies that really involves best practices to help set you up for success, so to speak, in terms of sleeping. And these sleep hygiene strategies can help people fall asleep just in and of themselves, which is really great without having to use more intrusive things. So this involves things like exactly what you're saying, a regular bedtime. And, especially over the summer, that slides a little bit. So making sure to kind of gradually get back on track with the bedtime before school starts is really important. And it is also really important to not shift that too much over the weekend. So sleeping in on the weekend doesn't help sleep. Another big, yeah, I know.
All right. All right,
another
go ahead.
big component, sure, is a bedtime routine. So having a set list of activities that child follows every night before bed can really help get that child in the right mindset, so to speak, for bed. And these activities can include things like brushing your teeth, taking a bath, reading a bedtime story, having a special goodnight kiss, that sort of thing. That helps set the child in the right mindset and build that routine for sleep. And it's really important when you're looking at those activities before bed to focus on things that are relaxing and avoid things that are really stimulating. So that's going to vary for each individual, but things that are relaxing can be things like reading a book, listening to quiet music, and, avoiding stimulating things can include things like, heavy physical activity. You don't want to be running around the house playing hide and seek right before bed. And the other big category is technology, which is really hard for a lot of families, but avoiding, iPads and really all screens before bed is a really important thing to set you up for success.
Okay, now you're really messing with everything. We can't sleep in on the weekend, and we can't play our like Sudoku on, because usually that's the thing that gets me to go to sleep, Karen. But I can see why I'm not good at we were just talking with Vince about how I'm not good at the bedtime routine. And the problem sort of, we're talking about our kids on the spectrum, but it kind of starts with us, right?
Right.
Okay, keep telling me, and my hole's getting deeper and deeper here.
And, I had some trouble with sleep, and when I started researching this some years ago, I started using these strategies myself, and it really works. unfortunately.
I'm sure it does.
So something else that helps is really having a regular exercise routine during the day. So the more active we are during the day, the easier it is for us to sleep at night. And this can be as simple as, going to the park for a certain amount during the day.
Okay.
I'm making faces over here because
Yeah,
I was
Shannon's
well, there we
there's
have it.
another one.
There's another one Shannon's not good at. What else am I doing wrong, Karen? But this is what I need to know. Yeah. Okay. What else?
So other things, and this is another really hard one, but good eating habits help with sleep, and more specifically, limiting caffeine, sugary foods, and big meals right before bed.
Okay.
And then the last kind of category involves the bedroom itself. So minimizing light in the bedroom, keeping it quiet, and keeping it at a nice, comfortable, slightly cool temperature. All of those things can really help our kids fall asleep better.
Okay.
Okay. And these are all things that you can incorporate in your child's ABA program. Is that correct?
Correct. And if these strategies don't work to reduce the child's sleep problems, there are some other strategies that you can use as well. Parent education is a really important tool where professionals can really provide some more individualized support. And there was one specific strategy I wanted to share in the article called fated bedtime. So this is specifically for kids who have trouble falling asleep. And this involves moving their bedtime to a later time at a time when kids are likely to fall asleep within that kind of 15-minute time frame that we find is appropriate for kids and for all of us. And so that might look like if a child typically falls asleep at 8 p.m. or their bedtime, is 8 p.m., but they don't fall asleep until 10 p.m., make their bedtime 10 p.m. If they're falling asleep pretty quickly as soon as they get in bed, then in future days, you're going to gradually fade the bedtime to maybe 9:45 and then 9:30 and then 9:15 until they're actually falling asleep at a normal time.
Okay. Great. Great.
That sounds like really doable.
Yeah.
It does. It all sounds doable. It's just that you have to make your mind that this is a priority.
Right.
And clearly sleep should be a priority. Okay. Anything else, Karen?
No, that was really the main points from the article. I know it's a lot of kind of straightforward stuff that's hard to implement.
But it's important stuff.
Yes, it is. Because our kids are not going to be able to function well at school if they don't have a good night's sleep.
No, and we're doing all these other things to make sure that they can do their best. But sleep is like the baseline of what we need to do.
Right.
All right, I'm a convert. All right, and where can we find out more information about this, Karen, if we want to go into this more depth?
Sure. Well, there is the National Sleep Foundation. They make recommendations in terms of the number of hours of sleep children should get. So that would be one resource to look at.
Okay, wonderful. And Karen, thank you so much for the work that you do here at CARD and for joining us on a regular basis and having somebody from your team join us to share these wonderful research tidbits. We're really enjoying it. I am, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very helpful. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Karen.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
All right,
All right,
bye-bye.
take care. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.